Hey guys, it's Yak Miyar from the Reddit Rivals, and today we're going to take a look into another Fire Ancient. This time, the Ancient of choice is Emberclaw, and we are going to look at him as both a dragon and ancient. The reason doing so is I feel his skills as an ancient are best worked alongside a dragon that can do damage. Not everyone has Viscaria, not everyone has Taliesin, but if you're going to be using Emberclaw as an ancient, you can obviously do so as well as a dragon. So we're going to look at his abilities here. His Dragon Power or Flyover ability is a moderate damage fire or burn that will last for 3 seconds. Okay, his abilities, his first one, Ignite, deals a decent amount of damage over time, and if you cast it on a building that it already has the debuff, then it applies it to other buildings in the area. So that's pretty cool, and I feel like it can work really well if you have enough starting mana before you start dropping troops. His second ability is a Fire Elemental Summons, pretty similar to Four Veil's Ice Elementals. They're pretty good. Let's open up the little tooltip there. And reading at the bottom, mana from destroyed building is absorbed by elementals, allowing increased damage on their attacks. That's the same. In addition, if a fire elemental dies, it will violently explode. So instead of freezing buildings, it will do additional damage, which is also pretty cool. You can see the other information about it up at the top. Okay, and finally, his third ability, 15 mana cost, is Dragon's Blood, and damage dealt to allied troops is reduced to 10%, and they recover 53 to 59 damage over 5 seconds. Awesome. Okay, however, it is his max mana ability, and usually by the time you're done destroying the stronghold, at least at my current stronghold level, you're not really running into issues of a lot of your troops dying, or you've cleared what you need to get gold and get the victory. So, kind of in the air. I guess that can be really good if you're taking absurd amounts of damage from a lot of AoE or splash damage early on in the fight. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at a couple attacks. Okay, so this is my first time in a while using Emberclaw, and looking at this base, they actually have a pretty good setup. If we zoom in here, in the bottom corner, we may get a couple gold smelters, and then they'll start taking watchtower damage. In the bottom right here, there's nothing we can attack. In the top left, we've got a Skywatch Tower. So really the only place I can start racking up some time here on my dragon is the upper right. Might get that portal down, maybe the gold storage, at least starting on that, and then we're going to have to start dropping troops in. My point of attack is going to be as far away from that death tower as possible. And all the spell towers are really in that top quadrant. So we're going to actually access from the bottom here. There's not a whole lot of defense minus watchtowers, and they can get to the stronghold pretty quickly. Hopefully we can get rid of some of the buildings here from the dragon sweep, as well as from some of the lower mana cost abilities. So I'll stop talking, and here we go. There's the portal. And maybe... Nope. Alright, so he's starting to take damage, so we're going to go ahead and sweep him to the bottom here. There's the dot, and he's almost dead. You can see just how little tank ability he has. But we're going to go ahead and actually wait this out and let him die. And we now have enough mana for 2 casts of the Ignite. So we're going to drop our tanks there, cast the Ignite, cast again, and drop in heals, and finally Wardens. They're healing up pretty well, not in range of spell tower, so they're doing okay. There's the AoE, slowly taking out those buildings. And things worked pretty well. We're going to use the third ability. and recover some of that damage. Probably would have been better to use elementals there, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what that looks like. And we're not going to actually get a full clear on this base. But there you go, that's kind of what it looks like. Okay, here's a second attack here. Just as a side note, we did face Camelot recently in a matchup in Kingdom Raids, and they did a really good job, made a nice effort, had a lot of activity, and we appreciate seeing them and wish them best of luck in the future. So this base, there is an opportunity to get some mana built up as well as time on Emberclaw, unlike the last base. And there's a lot of upgrades happening down there in the south. So hopefully I will be smart and have a good attack to get a lot of this gold that's available. So I'm going to go ahead and start in the upper left. One thing I forgot to mention is Emberclaw doesn't have as much health as Viscaria. Even I think once I level him up, but he has a very high amount of single target damage compared to the other dragons. So definitely take advantage of that if you're trying to snipe a stronghold with your dragon. Otherwise, I don't think he's the best choice, but we'll see as I get more Primus to level him up. All right, so we're doing pretty good here. Trying to snipe that gold. And we're going to actually attack from that bottom and get that death tower out of the way pretty early. But I'm going to go ahead and sweep him across here. Let him do that damage. And we're going to wait for the countdown to get to 0 so I can do 2 more sweeps and hopefully he'll survive that long. So we'll see here in just a second. Timer's getting low, but we're still doing fine. I'm going to go ahead and sweep him across. There we go. 1. And looks like we will be okay for 1 more. I'm going to go ahead and drop the Ignite. And it's sharing the debuff. And go ahead and drop everything else down here. Alright, so there's the damage. Got the Death Tower debuff, but we're doing okay. I'm going to go ahead and save mana for the elementals this time so you can see what they look like. And hopefully some of them will explode so we get an opportunity to see that in action. There you go. Okay, wow, that's actually not really sure how much damage that is just because we've got all those wardens there, but doesn't seem bad. It looks like the damage from them dying, does a marginal amount to the buildings. So there we are. Base is cleared, and we're going to get all that nice gold there, so that's cool. All right, so I wanted to do one more video for you guys. I've been doing all of these live, and I just feel like I could learn a little bit more about Emberclaw from trying him out one more time. So this base is definitely more challenging. Stronghold 10, the kind of diagonal or diamond shape is very strong up at Stronghold 14, 15. Had a really hard time in Kingdom Raids defeating them. I had a little bit of luck 2 times previously taking out a Stronghold 14, but I've never had any luck at a 15. So we're going to give this a try here. Hopefully Emberclaw can help. His single target damage is great, but his flyover damage could be much better. Maybe part of it's from the level he's currently at. So we're going to drop him here at the bottom. Hopefully rack up a little bit of mana, but mostly getting the time in so I can use his dragon power at least twice, hopefully 3 times. My point of entry is actually going to be the east. Yes, there's a death tower there, but I really need to get rid of that conduit and the catapult and arrow launcher. So here we are tearing things up slowly. Going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit. Got enough mana for 1 ignite. There goes that. So we're going to go ahead and fly up, spread that fiery stuff, And one thing I want to make you aware of, be very careful when choosing your ignite target. It needs to be right on the building. Otherwise, it will just cast in the area and actually not work. So we have enough for 2 more, so we're going to go ahead and try to keep them up and get 1 more flight. Excellent. All right, so that's great. So now I'm going to go ahead and cast the ignite actually on the highest HP building there, and then we're going to cast it again to spread it. Um, Once this arrow launcher goes down, there we go. Now I am going to drop both of my maulers in 2 locations so they don't all take the debuff. There's my paladins, there's my wardens, and we're in actually decent shape here, it looks like. I think I'm going to try to use the last ability to recover the damage and then drop some of the summons. So this is actually turning out to be a decent video, I hope, for you. Things worked out pretty well there with Emberclaw before he died, so that was great. Um, Still doing fine on time, got plenty of time to finish clearing the base. And gonna go ahead and fast forward here because everything else. All right, so very quick wrap up here, especially since I did 3 attacks in this video. Emberclaw seems pretty viable, especially if he gets a little stronger with more levels. But his overall AoE damage is not great unless you can build up a lot of mana and time early on in the base. So he's very dependent on which type of bases you get, and since you can't change out your dragon once you've started an attack, I would probably shy away from him at this point in time. So thanks guys, I'll see you next time, and we'll look at another Fire Ancient.